Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Wake Up Report. And I voted, did you? The primaries were last Tuesday, and if you did not vote in the primaries and your candidate did not win their respective state, you shouldn't be surprised. If you don't vote, you don't count. Number two, if you don't vote, then that means you automatically vote for the person that you do not like. And number three, if you are black and you did not vote, you should be absolutely ashamed of yourself, because too many of our people sacrificed their lives for us to have the right to vote. And if you can go stand in line at Foot Locker for damn near 24 hours waiting on the new pair of Air Jordans, you should be able to take your dusty asses down to the polling stations and vote for who might possibly be president of the United States. If you didn't vote in the primaries, then the mess that we're in now is more than likely your fault. Ever since Donald Trump said what he said about Latinos back when he announced his candidacy for the presidency of the United States, Mr. Trump has been playing with matches ever since. He has insulted one group after another, and he has incited a climate in the political landscape that has finally culminated into what we are seeing across the country. Trump rallies are now becoming the places for physical confrontations and violence, as Trump supporters don't have any problems attacking Trump detractors, as I'm assuming one black girl got ousted out of a Trump rally, and here recently one black man got punched while he was being escorted out of a Trump rally. The climate has gotten and is getting more and more out of control, with Donald Trump catering to a demographic that is increasingly xenophobic, increasingly anti-black, anti-Muslim, anti-Latino, anti-everything if it ain't whitewashed and painted white. The president and the other candidates, Senator Clinton, Bernie Sanders, Rubio, have all come out and denounced Mr. Trump's particular political strategy, and also in light of the fact that he did not denounce the KKK until, I don't know, days or so after so much negative press on that. He didn't do it publicly like on television. He said, well, I did it on my Twitter. You know, that should be good enough. I'm not supporting Donald Trump to be president, but I support his right to run for president, and I support everybody's right who supports Donald Trump to support Donald Trump. But after the thing with the KKK, I was like, nah, this man does not have the temperament to be president. Probably the most important thing about being president of the United States is your ability to bring people together, your ability to go around the world and bring countries together and different groups of people together, so we all are somewhat on the same page. We are not going to agree about everything, but we should agree on some things. And one of the things is we need to have more of a cohesive climate in terms of who you want to vote for, who you want to support. You should not be getting attacked for showing up at rallies to, I don't know, I'm kind of split on that one, because these Black Lives Matters idiots that show up and instigate trouble. And I honestly believe that they instigate trouble. I'm more along the lines, you go and you instigate, you get exactly what you deserve. The guy that got sucker punched, I'm not advocating getting sucker punched, because that's like a bitch move. You know, if you're going to punch somebody, stand man to man, face to face, and give the person a chance to fight back. Don't sucker punch nobody. But for these Black Lives Matters idiots to show up at these rallies and start trouble, and they are starting trouble because there are black Trump supporters, and they don't get attacked at the rallies. They don't get beaten up at the rallies. So if you go looking for trouble and somebody brings you a heaping plate of trouble and serves it up on your black ass, then you deserve exactly what you get. I don't agree with going to Trump rallies and disrupting the rallies. I personally think your time would be well spent organizing your people to show up at the polls and to vote. I probably am on the side of maybe 2/3 of the Black Lives Matters, and all these protesters, they probably didn't even show up to vote at the primaries, let alone showing up to vote for the elections when they come up in November. So to complain about Donald Trump and Donald Trump supporters, to me, and you don't vote and you don't participate in a way that you can actively and positively voice your dislike for Donald Trump, you do it at the polls. Showing up to yell and scream at Donald Trump and showing up to yell and scream at Trump rallies to his supporters about Black Lives Matters and all that kind of crap. You Black Lives people have yet to show up at a rally and denounce black on black violence. You've yet to do that. So I think you really need to, check yourselves in regards to that. But that aside, the climate that Donald Trump has been fanning, and he's been fanning the flames of hate and bigotry, and it is finally starting to come to a head to where it is getting out of control. If something isn't done about this, somebody's going to get seriously hurt at a Trump rally, and nobody wants to see anybody get hurt. But you got people putting up the Hitler, the Sieg Heil, the Heil Hitler signs and all kind of stuff like that, man. You got people showing up wearing T-shirts that say "Make America White Again." You got people like David Duke, who, clearly is a supporter of white power and white people on top at the disadvantaging of everybody else. And now he's been given a platform to climb out from under his rock and begin to think that, hey, man, we white people can seize the moment now and we can take the country back. For all you white people out there that think like that, look, forget about that. Okay, those days are over. This country, in probably the next 50 or so years, is going to be a brown country. The majority of the people in this country are going to be Latino, Asian, and black. So get over it. All right, learn to get along with everybody and stop all this white people. The country belongs to white people, and white people need to, make America white again and all that kind of. Remember, America was brown until you got your asses over here and fucked over the Indians and took it. So this mess about what white people own and what should stay white. If you wanted to stay that white, go back to Europe where you come from. Okay, the climate that Trump. Whether he is directly doing it and indirectly doing it, and he knows what's going on, and he refuses to check the people at his rallies and check what's going on. You get on national TV and you talk about you don't know anything about David Duke, and you don't know anything about the Ku Klux Klan and all this nonsense. That would make you like the stupidest businessman on the planet. Okay, to be in this country as long as you've been in this country and don't know nothing about David Duke and the Ku Klux Klan. Or what that means is you haven't been paying attention, and that makes you even less qualified to be president of the United States because you don't keep up with current affairs. You don't keep up with what's going on in the country and what's going on around the world. So when you make ridiculous statements like the ones you made about Latinos and building walls in Mexico and dirty Mexicans and all this kind of mess, that people that try to jump on stage and come after you, and I don't advocate that, but when you call them ISIS supporters and things like that, you fan the flames of hatred, and that is not something that a potential presidential candidate is supposed to do. What I encourage people to do who don't like Donald Trump, who disagree with what Donald Trump is saying and what he's doing and how he's running his campaigns, get your asses to the polls. You should have been at those primaries, because if you've been at those primaries the way you should have been, maybe Donald Trump wouldn't have been picking up as much as he's been picking up across the country in terms of being voted for in the states that he's running in. So really, it's your fault if you don't get up and you don't go vote. All elections are important. Don't just wait until the big ones to decide what you're going to do. Make your voice known for the smaller elections. Make them known for the local elections, because when you don't vote locally for what people consider the small elections, well, that's when them scumbag politicians in Washington, they'll slide bills through that you're not aware of. They'll make changes in policies that you won't be aware of. And then when you're yelling and screaming about the very policies that you didn't vote on because you didn't get up and go vote, y'all bent out of shape. Donald Trump has every right to run for president. Donald Trump supporters have every right to show up and support Donald Trump. But what Donald Trump needs to get in check is the fact that you have started a fire and you have fanned those flames, and those flames are beginning to get out of control. If you don't do something to check this, I mean, really, you're not going to win, the office of president anyway. You have drawn too much negative press on yourself, and you are not doing anything to counteract that negative press. So you need to get a grip on that. Listen, at the end of the day, Hillary Clinton, by default, is the most logical choice for president. the Republicans basically have nobody. And even though Mark Rubio has come out and denounced the type of violence that Trump is fanning with this stuff that he talks and just all this kind of stuff, you're the same person who said you're going to support him if he gets the nomination. So how do you support the very person that you are denouncing? That does not make any sense. It was the same thing with, I think it was Newt Gingrich, who called Mitt Romney all kinds of liars and crooks and cheats, and he's a dirty politician and he's just a dirty person, but I support him if he could beat Obama. So that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So everybody, in my opinion, is at fault in this case. All you Black Lives Matters knuckleheads and all you protesters that show up to start trouble at the Trump rallies, you're at fault. The people at the Trump rallies who are sticking their hands up talking about Heil Hitler and talking all kinds of stuff, you're at fault. Donald Trump, you're at fault for giving people who think like David Duke the possibility that they think they're going to get some kind of control in this country and just steamroll over everybody else and bring America back to the great white land that it was when, and I'll say it and I'll keep saying it, it wasn't a white land until you washed up on these shores. Native Americans own this real estate. So when you talk all that white crap about make America great again and make America white again and make America all this and stuff, go make that somewhere else. Go back where you belong, okay? Because the way things are going in this country, all that Jurassic, antiquated, archaic, racist, separatist garbage that some white males simply have to hold on to ensure their place in the world, those days are over. America is supposed to be a melting pot, and America is being crushed under the weight of its own hypocrisy. If we allow the Donald Trumps, the David Dukes, and other people for political gain, for economical gain, for whatever gain, to fan the flames of hate the way Donald Trump is doing, what is going to happen is that you, as a result of playing with matches, are going to start a fire, or you have started a fire, and when that fire rages so out of control that you will not be able to stop it, we will just simply have to stand back and watch the entire country burn to the ground. This is KTM in the Wake Up Report saying think a little bit. It will do wonders for you.